Hey, folks, John Duffin here from Duffin Media, and welcome to another episode of Your Monday Motivation, where we are here, and by we, I get to introduce my partner, Chad Levine, superstar all around and superstar lender, superstar speaker. Chad and I get to kickstart your week. Welcome, Chad. How you doing, man?
What up, JD? How's it going out there in Facebookville? I got to tell you, I'm ready to rock. The instrumental part of this show, it just resonates. I think, like, I wonder if we could just keep going, like, during the show, like,
right? It just feels very inspirational, right? Like I need to do something. Bruno, morning.
What up, B-Dog?
Yo, hey, Sandra.
Happy Monday, Sandra Lee. Are you a Michigan State alum? Because if you are, I did my fraternity Hell Weekend, okay? Hell Weekend at Michigan State University. And they had us start off by running the entire campus. And that is a 2.5 mile campus. And that sucked.
That was the start of it. Sandra's husband is.
Got it.
That was the beginning. So I was the commuter at Villanova, and so I would be like wanting to pal around with the frats. They weren't having it. Then I would commute back to Northeast Philadelphia. So I missed the fun of Hell Week. Folks, whether you are here off today because it's President's Day, whether you're working today, whether you're planning to do things, whether your kids are keeping you home, Chad Levine, is it true now that they get 6-day weekends?
Yeah, it's called our Hell Week.
Right? For me, that would be every week. I'd be calling it that. That's, as I said, well, folks, wherever it is that you happen to be in Facebook land, checking us out, thank you for all of that, by the way, and keep piping in. We love that part. And folks, like I said, today what we want to touch on, topic at hand. Chad, you want to lead us off, then I'll drop the quote.
Yeah, so today's topic is being presidential, right? We call it the presidential state of mind. Kind of like the superstar status, guys. I use superstar as a way to set a mindset, if you will. For me, when I put these bad boys on, it's game over. It's game over for me.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what it is, I can be anywhere and throw these on, and I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger when I'm ripping through stuff. But yeah, today's team, presidential state of mind on President's Day. We want to honor these guys in a different way for the mountain they've climbed from a professional standpoint. And John and I are going to try and break down or dissect some ways we think you can ascend professionally.
Yeah, whether it's presidential or not presidential. Happy. And by the way, as I said, oh my God,
Bill Clinton can tell you how to descend. But
when you pull those shades out, that's hot, man. That is hot. So, folks, like I said, what we're thinking about is this: we got a quote. There's a lot to chew on with the quote. Our intention is to make this practical too. So, I'm happy to do the 2-minute rant. If the quote, oh my God, there you go, right? On this quote, this is from Jimmy Carter, who, God rest his soul, he hasn't passed yet, but is in hospice right now. And the quote is this: my faith demands that I do whatever I can, wherever I am, whenever I can, for as long as I can, and with whatever I have to try to make a difference. Now, that's a lot, right? I mean, and that's very, like I said, pressure packed. I'm looking at Chad Levine's face.
Blah 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 blah.
Do what you can with whatever you have. Hey, if you want to set that 2-minute timer, I promise you I can nail this in 2 minutes. Boom. Look at that face. God almighty. All those lines.
Jason, take me off in the 2-minute timer. I don't need to be on.
No. But here's the thing, and I reclaim my time. But the fact of the matter is, all right, fine. Here's what we're doing. In regards to this quote, this is what can we do? We're all coming from different circumstances for different reasons, different times of day, what have you, ages, and whatever the thing is. So Jimmy Carter was building houses when he was in his 90s after being a president. So on days for me where it's like, oh, I'm tired, or it's President's Day, or I'll never get to those levels. The fact of the matter is, it's look what can be done at any point in your life. My weaknesses can be for the speaking career that I've launched, the coaching career that I have, the voice career. Did I wait too long? Is it a problem? I should have done this sooner. Why didn't I? There's plenty I can do, and there's plenty I have done. And there's plenty that needs to be done on my end. So where I get tripped up is not putting in the effort because I want to keep going back in history, so to speak. This former president, as I said, was building homes in his 90s. So for me, it's making certain I am taking the steps to ascend to as high of a place that I choose to, with the resources I have and the energy that I have. For me, the coaching, the speaking can all be done, and I don't have to sit and worry about, am I going to run out of time, or is it too late, or will anyone care? The fact of the matter is, in terms of building things, serving other people, making other people feel important, that's my job.
We need one of those smoke shots. You know, like the boop, and then the smoke comes out.
So scary. So there you go, brother. So there's 2 minutes to the penny, baby. All you.
That was good, John. That was good.
Thank you.
So let's dive in a little. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's dive in. When we talk about a president, right, we're talking about top of the game, made it all the way, climbed the mountain. I mean, it is so hard to get to that level. And we equate that to like a CEO role in the corporate environment. We equate that to someone who's self-employed running their own ship. I mean, the goal here in today's show is to talk about what is it, in your opinion, that these people have in their mind, in their behaviors, and in their actions that allows them to reach that level, to get that high. Right. So for us, John and I had this conversation before we started. Yes, there are factors that come into play, such as luck, such as nepotism, such as bias. Those are all the dirty, negative things that, you know what? We're not going to talk about that. All right. We're going to base it off of the merit aspect of it, because no matter how much, now some may question certain presidents may have gotten there for.
Yeah, this is not political. This is not This ain't a political conversation. No. This is an ascending and optimizing opportunities conversation.
Correct. So for me, and then again, John will give his opinion and I'll give you my opinion. I think it's the unwavering, insatiable hunger to continue to push in a certain way. But what's interesting about what Jimmy Carter says is there a level of selflessness that needs to come into play that allows you to get to that higher level? Because the selfishness may be self-limiting. And I think that's an interesting, thing we can dissect a little, John.
Hey, Chad, I feel like in what you just said in regards to the self-interest being, self-limiting, if you're so focused, and I've done this, so if you can become so focused on, I'm to this and I'm to that, and I shouldn't do this, that's what cuts me off. So the truth of the matter is, aspiring to help other people legitimately, aspiring to help other people is the part that will keep you moving. And that's the reason why, look, the whole purpose of this show is to literally help people ascend a notch on a Monday morning. And so that's the whole purpose. Do we do it? Well, yeah, and we do it because that's the purpose. So if I'm not focused on me so much, things get done.
Yeah. And is there a way for people to walk away from today's show to think about, how do I align the two? How do I align helping other people along with helping myself continue to grow in what I'm doing, right? And maybe that's the greater message. I'm watching a show right now, John, called Undercover Billionaire. And it's really interesting. I highly recommend it. Have you seen it?
I have. I've seen an episode or two. In fact, there was a local guy that was on that show.
Oh, really?
Back, Rick Foreman from Foreman Mills.
Now that's Undercover Boss.
Oh, never mind. Then no. I know.
Yeah. So that's Undercover Boss. Very, very similar. Very similar.
Okay.
But let me
the one I know.
But let me give you the premise of the show. The premise
Right.
of the show is that ultra successful entrepreneurs, and I mean like the Grant Cardones of the world,
Gotcha.
the Glenn Stearns of the world that started Stearns Lending, like big guys.
Right.
They drop them off in a random place with a cell phone with no contacts, a beat up truck, and $100 in their pocket. And they have 90 days to literally survive and build a $1 million business off of that. That's it.
90 days.
90 days. Okay. That's it. And it's interesting because you'll see them go from finding food and shelter to developing a team to developing a concept to literally developing a business that has $1 million valuation. If they fail, they have to put $1 million of their own money into it so that they can at least support the infrastructure they've built. And they have to lie about their identity.
Got it. So
It's
they
a
can't
very-
be calling in favor saying, hey, I'm Grant Cardone.
Correct.
I need support. Okay, got it.
Correct.
This
But
is great.
it's a great show and it's
Right.
highly inspirational. And I really dig it because it takes them back to their old roots, right? And it's the only way from a human experiment perspective that you can force somebody that's become that successful, right, to not tell anyone who they are.
And to replicate success without that momentum. See, to me, one of the biggest knocks that you hear people get is, yeah, they did it once, but could they do it twice? And
100%.
right.
100%.
And these people are being challenged in a crazy timeline. I got to see this. So,
well, no, but let me. So the whole context to me saying this, right, is the one thing that they're going to find. All of them succeed to a certain degree. Do they all get to $1 million? You'll have to watch the show to find out.
Got you.
But my whole point is that their most valuable aspect, right, the most valuable thing they did through the whole experiment,
right,
was that they actually looked out for other people. Their goal was to build a sustainable business for the community they were in. And their goal was to elevate people around them. And at the end, when they reveal their identities, everyone that helped them along the way gets a monetary compensation as a reward, and they usually get a piece of the business.
Wow.
So the reason I'm saying that is to act presidential in the right way, guys, not in the Bill Clinton way, please. Okay.
Oh, so we ain't going presidential, and there's right. And said, I'm a Bill Clinton fan.
But to
anyway,
act presidential and to understand how to get to that stratosphere of a CEO level, it's when you start to impact others around you. And when you start to think for them and not for yourself, and when you start to align your ascension and success with helping them. So by helping them, that's how you're moving up.
See, and that is a beautiful sense of like just the basic service concept, because right away, anybody listening today, and I've done it too, which is things like, oh, I'm not going to ever get to. Nobody's saying you have to.
Yeah.
But if I understand you correctly, you're literally stripping all of the success from an individual, except their mind, except a little bit of capital and their own personal experience.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're going to build the relationships, but you can't say who you are. You can't, you know what I mean? You can't lean into what you've done, which answers the question, could somebody do it twice? And the answer is, yeah, if you have to. And so for me, the twofold motivation. Number one, my own personal takeaway. Number one, when you're helping other people, you're going to move faster because you're not going to get log jammed in terms of, oh, I can't, I won't, I'm not, I'm this. And two, you got to have that timeline sense of urgency because you don't have an unlimited amount of time. I love the 90-day thing because it forces them to be like, you don't have forever. You know, hey, I'll do this in the next 5 years. How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, former President Carter's, I think, 98 years old, and it's like and I'm still acting surprised. It's like, oh my God, and he's in hospice. It's like he's 100 years old, for God's sake. So it's like our time is limited,
But John, there's the bigger message here.
Yeah.
The bigger message is to reach those types of levels, a presidential or CEO level.
Yeah.
You have to have people that are following and believing in you. That's the bigger message. And I think that's what we're trying to get at today, right?
Yep.
So when you're trying to figure out how is it that you get there? Because everyone's like, I want to be the CEO. I want to be the CEO. Well, guess what? First of all, you don't, because you have no idea if you've never been a CEO. It's one of the most stressful jobs you could ever have, right? But you have to have a faithful group of followers, and you have to have the ability to get those followers. It's the same rule in business. It really is. But I think that's the key ingredient to today's show. It's understanding that you have to uplift others and not just focused on yourself.
That's the key to anything. It's the key to life. It's the key to business. It's the key to success. It's so many people, and I did it early in my career, ascend because you think you have to protect yourself. I did that early in my career. When I finally found the courage, and that's what it often comes down to, the wherewithal and the courage to realize, no, this is all about helping other people. And it's not altruistic. It is, but the sense is because they're the people that are going to ultimately, that's your team.
Yep. That's how you win. I mean, John, I hate to say this. That's how you win the election, right?
That's it. You keep building teams, and you just keep building bigger teams and bigger teams and bigger teams.
Yeah.
And you're doing it because you're helping people. And when somebody's helping you, why wouldn't you go in with them? So you want to ascend, you want to aspire, you want to build your entrepreneurial business. Start with the concept, if you haven't already. Number one, who am I helping?
Yeah.
Who am I helping, and can I articulate that?
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I got a chance last week to speak at Temple University, and I knew point blank. I don't always know this, but I said it out loud at the very beginning. The whole point of why I'm here is if I can help one student ascend a little bit faster than I did, to get to a level where I've been, but not need all the time that I took, well, then I'm helping somebody. And that's why I'm here. And that was, to me, that was the launch point for the presentation that I gave.
Yeah.
And it, you know, and people seem to respond, and I got good feedback and blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is, it also feels damn good too.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does. But that's, you know, to me, I'm good. I think our message is good.
I think airtight. I do. I think we're great. By the way, listen, folks, if you haven't ever figured this out, you just did. This is Chad Levine's loving way of saying, all right, shut up, John Duffin.
Guys, you know, we have a tendency to blabber a little, and that's part of our forte, I guess. If you want to hire either of us to blabber on an individual level, feel free to.
Get us both. But when you get us both, what you will get is Chad Levine with a hook pulling me off the stage. Not a damn thing wrong with that. So, folks, you have just heard your President's Day message from your Monday Motivation, where Chad Levine, what are we doing?
Give you your weekly kick in the arse. Oh, oops, did I say that out loud? Arse. We'll just stick with arse.
We'll stay with it, right? All right, all good, baby. Folks, it is great that you are here. Take with this and run with it, and we will be back next week. Have a great day. Have a great week, and we will see you soon. Bye.
We forgot this, but that's okay.
Oh, my God. There you go. Right.
See you next week. America.